I can't do this anymore. I love Shea, but he stabbed my back. And I can't marry this man. He's a liar. I don't know.
The energy completely shifted once Anabelle started speaking. What could have been a simple discussion quickly turned into a moment where everyone had to pay attention because she wasn't asking for cooperation, she was demanding it. Whether people agreed with her approach or not, she made it very clear that she wasn't going to tolerate anything she believed was disrespectful or unnecessary. One thing that stood out to me was just how direct Anabelle was. Some people prefer to soften their words to avoid conflict, but that clearly isn't her style. She says exactly what's on her mind, and she expects people to respond immediately. That kind of personality can command respect, but it can also create tension, especially when emotions are already running high. As everything unfolded, it became obvious that Anabelle wasn't trying to impress anyone. She wasn't concerned about appearing polite for the sake of keeping the peace. Her focus was on protecting her home, protecting her family, and making sure everyone understood the boundaries she had set. Once she made those boundaries clear, there wasn't much room left for negotiation. Another interesting part of this situation was Shea's reaction. Instead of the conversation staying focused on solving the issue, you could almost feel the frustration building. The more direct Anabelle became, the more uncomfortable the atmosphere felt. It created one of those moments where everyone knows something bigger is happening beneath the surface than what is actually being said. I also couldn't ignore how quickly the situation became emotional. Sometimes arguments aren't really about the issue that's being discussed. Instead, they're about feelings that have been building for a long time. Watching this unfold, it felt like there were unresolved emotions that had been sitting beneath the surface, and this moment simply brought all of them into the open. One thing I found particularly interesting was how family dynamics played such a huge role in the conversation. When families grow and relationships change, adjustments have to be made. That isn't always easy. People who have been used to having someone's full attention often struggle when another important person enters the picture. I think that's exactly what made this situation feel so complicated. It wasn't just about one disagreement. It was about changing roles within the family. Those kinds of transitions can be difficult because everyone has different expectations about where they fit and how much influence they should have. From my perspective, there seemed to be a struggle over boundaries. Every family needs healthy boundaries if relationships are going to work. Without them, misunderstandings happen quickly because people begin stepping into spaces where they may no longer have the same level of control they once had. Another thing that stood out was how difficult it can be for some family members to accept change. When someone new becomes a major part of the family, routines change, priorities shift, and relationships naturally evolve. That doesn't necessarily mean anyone is being replaced, but it can certainly feel that way if emotions aren't handled carefully. I also think it's important to remember that building a serious relationship doesn't mean abandoning family. Those two things should be able to exist together. A parent can still love their child while also building a healthy relationship with a partner. One relationship shouldn't automatically cancel out the other. What makes situations like this so challenging is that perception often becomes reality. If someone believes they're losing an important relationship, they'll sometimes react emotionally before stopping to consider whether that's actually happening. Those emotions can create conflict, even when nobody intends to hurt anyone. Anabelle, however, doesn't seem like someone who's willing to allow confusion to continue. She appears to believe in dealing with problems immediately, rather than letting them grow into something bigger. While that approach can sometimes sound harsh, it also prevents people from pretending everything is fine when it clearly isn't. Another thing I noticed was that nobody seemed completely comfortable during this exchange. Everyone appeared to be reacting differently, but the tension affected the entire conversation. Moments like this remind me that family disagreements rarely stay between two people. Once emotions become involved, everyone in the room starts feeling the impact. I also think communication played a major role here. Sometimes people focus so much on defending themselves that they stop listening to what the other person is actually trying to say. Once that happens, conversations become arguments instead of opportunities to understand each other. Throughout this moment on 90 Day Fiancé, I kept asking myself whether this conflict was really about what everyone was discussing, or whether it represented much deeper feelings that had never been fully addressed. In many families, one disagreement is often connected to several older issues that simply haven't been resolved yet. Another thing that caught my attention was how quickly respect became part of the conversation. Respect means different things to different people. For some, it's about listening. For others, it's about following boundaries. When everyone has a different definition of respect, misunderstanding